when there's a will, there's a way. I agree with this. Yep.
Absolutely, I agree.
There are some true miracles that happen when people believe that they can do something.
Manifesting, as much as I hate that word, like, it's pretty true. Like, if you strive for something and you put your mind to it and you, like, manifest that it will happen, then it usually is the case.
Yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way. I agree.
I agree. Absolutely.
Determination, definitely. If you're determined to do something,
Do it.
there's a way.
Yeah, there's a way.
If you really want something, and I've seen people do it, then you can get it. It won't be immediate, it'll take time, but I believe that it's possible.
I think there's always a way, but there's a lot of things getting in the way of the way. I'm talking very vaguely here.
Yeah, absolutely, go for it. But then, it's not always the same in romantic relationships. Just because you want to be with someone doesn't mean it's going to happen, which I've obviously learnt.
I mean, I'd like to think if there's a will, there's a way, but I don't necessarily agree with that statement, no. I think there are some hurdles that for a lot of people simply can't be surpassed due to discrimination or oppression or any other sort of woe.
No, I don't. I disagree with that.
I disagree. I think there are some situations that we don't have control over. I think that being driven is definitely a good value that we should teach children, but we should also teach rejection and accepting failure as it is part of life.
One of life's golden rules is either you take advantage of other people or people take advantage of you. I agree, I disagree. I really disagree with that. I think that's a really cynical viewpoint.
I disagree with that. It's a very, very, very bad statement.
No, I disagree with that greatly.
Not really. I don't think that you need to take advantage of anyone. I can see why people do, but, try to treat people how you like to be treated, so not really. I don't really agree with that.
I don't agree with taking advantage of people, but I agree with, you got to put yourself first sometimes. But yeah, I don't think, you should take advantage of people to do that. It's not necessary.
I think that, especially being my age, you do get taken advantage of a lot, especially when people say, oh, really good work experience. No pay, taking advantage of your position as a student and needing experience, not recognising your value. But I also would never go about my life thinking, I'm going to take advantage of that person for myself. Ugh, yuck.
I agree with it to a point. I don't think any people should be taking advantage of any people. I think one of my values in life is reciprocity. So where I've experienced a give to me, I expect that I will give back in some way, shape or form.
You can take advantage of people, that's fine, as long as that person is being aware they're being taken advantage of, People use other people, that's how we get by in life.
I am conscious that that does exist though. There are workplaces and people that do, use and abuse that system. Especially around, internships and stuff around university. Man, people would be like, oh, I've got this great internship. And they'll tell you about it and you're like, that's like slave labor, dude. Like, that's really, you're working full-time hours for nothing and you're not learning much, that kind of thing. So yeah, not for me, but I do agree that it does happen.
I strongly disagree. If that's your outlook on life,
yeah,
I feel sorry for you.
Same.
God. But I mean, maybe that's some people. That's all they've ever experienced. So I understand why they feel that way. But I'm lucky that growing up with a family that's supportive. So
yeah,
the only thing that viewpoint serves is to actually make you want to take advantage of other people, which I think is quite sad. So no, I quite disagree with that.
Does New Zealand society give you the chance to show what you're really capable of?
It does actually, yes. I would say just because New Zealand has more opportunities.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there's nothing in the way except my own self-doubt.
I would say yes, extremely. I think as a person in New Zealand that is disabled, with a physical disability, I use a wheelchair, I think that I've had every single opportunity on equal footing with any of my fellow peers, I think.
I think so, yeah. I think there's definitely been a growth in opportunities, especially in the creative field. At least it feels like it's getting there, bit by bit, yeah.
I think we're definitely moving in the direction that New Zealand is being recognised for being a creative goldmine, you know, thanks to Peter Jackson and Taika Waititi, you know?
Yeah, I definitely think we do. Obviously, we don't have as much opportunity as someone like, say, in America or something, in some job areas, but I think, you know, we're not limited in any means.
I think there are certain sectors and certain places within New Zealand where you can show what you're really capable of, but I think there are external opportunities overseas.
I plan to go overseas when I finish university to really grow. I think in New Zealand we have a really, really bad tall poppy syndrome, and I think I want to try and learn from other people and other cultures.
Does New Zealand society give you the chance to show off what you're really capable of?
No.
No, I don't think it gives anyone that's... God, I'm going to sound really critical of rugby, but I don't think it gives anyone who's not a rugby player the chance to show what they're really capable of, because it just doesn't get the media attention.
To an extent, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But then I think as a country we kind of suffer from that tall poppy syndrome. So when someone does start doing well and whatever, we're like,
to pull them down.
They think they.
Yeah. Oh, they forgot this, or yeah.
I would say no.
Yeah, I would say no as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, again, being like people of colour, a lot of the times, you know, say for like a job interview or something, people see your name and they like, you know, chuck away your CV already. It's just like, it will never be equal, like as long as people hold biased views.
Yeah.
Yeah.